Hey, hey, back again. I just finished a live, but there's just some things I want to talk about. Uh, I think this is, I think this is an important conversation. Are there unspoken rules for the bar? Could it be that their priorities? They must have priorities, right? You would think. Such a prestigious uh, such a prestigious organization. Oh my goodness, talk about bastard improper use of a word or bastardization. Lord have mercy. mm. Oh my, yeah, could it be? uh I have heard that it is so now I'm not a bar member, and I don't have a affidavit uh, for our uh, that from the old language, language of fiction. We are moving into quantum grammar, so it would be a David, not an affidavit. Affidavit means no David. Yeah. At any rate, could it be that there are unspoken rules for the bar? Something to the tune of an oath or a pledge or a understanding. Well, I'll tell you what I heard. I heard that there is. I heard that the first allegiance, the highest allegiance, their number one priority. What do you think it is? Do you think it's you? Oh, sorry, it's the bar. Yeah, arrogant, isn't it? All right. What's the number two priority? You got an idea? You think it's you? No, uh, it's the law. What law? The laws of your inalienable rights? Nature's laws? No. Statutes, acts, codes, rules, regulations, all administrative processes. That law. That's their number two the number one priority is to the bar. The number two priority is to statutes, acts, codes, rules, regulations that do what? Administer slaves. Yes, administers. What do you mean administer? That's why there's more slaves on the planet today than ever, because we got the highest population the world's ever seen that we know of in the knowledge of our history, right? Uh, you got an all caps name on your driver's license, on your passport, on your birth certificate, on uh, uh, paperwork from these administrative courts. They're not courts. No, they're corporations. They are. They're banks. They're morgues. They only talk to the dead. They only talk to fiction. But they drag you in there as surety for that fiction. They put a body attachment on you. They created all of this stuff, created all these contracts, claim that we've given them power of attorney, all done in fraud. All done in fraud. Do you have knowledge of a contract for this? I don't think so. If you did, would you give consent? Oh, I don't think so. And guess what? There's no statute of limitations to fraud. So understand all of this. Number one priority as I hear it, is to the bar. The number 2 priority is to statutes, acts, rules, regulations, and codes that do what? Administer who? Administer what? A fiction, an all caps name. That's the dead. And those administrative courts can only communicate with the dead. That's why you need to be represented. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. If you can't afford a bar attorney will be appointed for you. Oh, thanks. What a deal. This guy's coming up the system, learning what the system's all about. All right. Number 3 priority. What do you think that is? Do you think it's you? No, it's the attorney himself. Oh, God. Yeah. Come on now, put that in your pipe and smoke it, people. Are you starting to understand what you're dealing with? What is their lowest priority? We've given you 1, 2, and 3. There's 4. You. So what are you going to do about it, people? You own your authority. You're going to stand up against this. These are British agents. These are esquires. Our original founding documents forbid esquires and titles of nobility from being part of government. How many bar members you got in the Senate? How many bar members you got in Congress? How many bar members you got in your county commission? How many governors are bar members? Are you starting to get it? These things do not apply to you. There is no statute of limitation to fraud. This is a fraud that has been perpetrated upon us all. My YouTube video, I'm pretty sure it's Own Your Authority 6. I discuss how the American Bar Association was formed in the late 1800s. And their number 1 priority at that time was I want to phrase it properly. The number 1 priority was setting the academic standards or something to that effect. You watch the video and I say it the way it should be said. And in that video, in the description, there's an 8th grade test. Are you smarter than an 8th grader from the 1800s? Take that test. Just get an idea and understand, when I was knee high to a grasshopper, the phrase "I only had an 8th grade education" was not an uncommon phrase to be heard. Take that 8th grade test. Own Your Authority video number 6. Listen to that talk and understand there is no statute of limitation to fraud. These bar attorneys, these judges, these black robes, they are administrating a fiction, an all caps name, and they're telling you that's you. And then they operate on assumptions and presumptions. So they're going to assume and presume you straight into that rape cage. Yeah, it's fact. They're going to take your money. It's a bank. It's a morgue. They can only talk to the dead. Are you dead? No, you're not. So you got to own your authority. They have no jurisdiction over you. They have no jurisdiction over you. Now, we do not have law enforcement, so we are the highest law enforcers, people. We, the people, are the highest law enforcers. All these people you think of as government, they're not government. They're rogue. Our country was taken over and incorporated over 150 years ago. The country went bankrupt, and that corporation went bankrupt in 1999. You're under martial law. Nobody's telling you this. The military is under your control. Stand up and own your authority. Unslave yourself. Quit following all these gurus that got you stupid things like bonds for the wind and W4s and bills of exchange and accessing your CUSIP account. Hold these son of a bitches to account. They are murdering you. You're drinking toxic water. You're drinking sewage if you're on municipal water. I just saw an article that claimed that 80% of the American population have what's this shit they spray on the crops? They got it in. You got it in your pee. Roundup. It's in your urine. 80% of the American population it shows up in the urine. This processed food it's imitation food. It's not food. It's food like. It's killing you. In your medical profession, they're not healers. They treat you with toxic poisons. These doctors, you should call them poison control experts because that's what they are. And they treat you with toxic poisons. And the ADA has no proof that a root canal is a safe procedure. There is overwhelming evidence that every root canal tooth is a toxic tooth. Dr. Thomas Levy, a heart surgeon, finds oral plaques in the high pressure ventricle of his patients 90% of the time. He claims that toxic teeth are the cause of virtually the vast majority of breast cancer and can be a cause of virtually any inflammatory condition. And there's a lot of science to back that up. So that's what you got, slaves. It's time to wake up. It's time to stand up, rise up, and hold these parasites to account. Understand this is martial law. There is no law. Maxims of law is what applies to you now. I've done some videos on maxims of law. I'm up around 250 videos now. You just have to go scroll through them. They're titled Maxims of Law. Listen to those videos if it interests you. You're under martial law. There is no law. What you think of as courts, they're not courts. They're morgues. They're banks. They deal with the dead. In Michigan, we don't even have coroners. You can be a coroner. The Americans Notice of Liability is on my website, oralhealthwithcannabis.com. You can find it in the description, oralhealthwithcannabis.com. It's shadow banned. If it says website not available, just refresh. try a different browser, go to the services page. There's two Americans Notice of Liability there. One says coroner. It might be Americans NOL. I'm not sure. NOL, Notice of Liability. There's two of them. One says coroner. You want, if you can you tell if somebody body is warm or cold, like there's life in the body? Can you tell if somebody's breathing? Can you tell if they got a pulse? Can you do like reflexes, test for reflexes or responses with a needle for maybe somebody that's in a coma? If you feel like you can be coroner, you can own it, and you should. Americans Notice Liability is a very powerful document. Own it, people. It's for free. I made it for you. And then I showed you prepaid first class mail as postmaster, how with a little bit of paper and a 2-cent stamp, you go and you facilitate that with the proper labeling, foreign office of origin, not in all caps. The only thing that's capital is the F. Put the zip code in brackets so it's not there, because zip code's military. They took away your rural routes. Oh, what they've done is terrible. You got to own your authority, people. You've got to. They have got us brainwashed, MK Ultra brainwashed, dumbed down public schools, conditioned, indoctrinated, dumbed down, toxified, drugged up slaves. You got to shake it off. You got to wise up, realize what they've done, and fix it. Ain't no one coming to save you, people. You got to save yourself. So remember, it could very well be that these British agents, these esquires, titles of nobility, have a creed, have a code, have an oath, have a pledge, have an unspoken rule. First priority is to the bar. Second priority is to administrative enslavement, law of statutes, acts, codes, rules, and regulations. Third priority is to that bar attorney that you're giving money to represent you. You don't want to be represented. You don't want to be enslaved. You don't want to be in that administrative court. They have no jurisdiction over you if you own your authority and know who you are. You facilitate that prepaid first class mail, you label that up properly, you do it properly, you get recognized as a foreign national in what jurisdictions? Oh, gee, let me think. The Global Postal Union, the Universal Postal Union. Oh, the Federal United States Postal Service. Oh, the United States Post Office in the federal again. Where? What county are you in? What state are you in? You get recognized in your county, your state, the federal of the post office, the federal of the postal service, internationally by the Universal Postal Union and the Global Postal Union. In the military, you can't move without the post. So I'm thinking you've got jurisdiction there too. And you are in control of the military. And these servants are supposed to serve you, not enslave you. They have incorporated your states. They have incorporated your counties. They've incorporated the courts. They have enslaved you. They have MK altered you, brainwashed you, dumbed you down, and got you living in fear. There's so much estrogen in the water that nature, you got he-she's, you got he-she frogs because there's so much estrogen in the water. I hear they're putting estrogen in the beer, men. Oh my God. And the fluoride in the water and the sewage, the total dissolved solids in your municipal water. Oh my, they're killing you, torturing you, robbing you, raping you. So, gotta own your authority, people. I love you. I'll be back. I got more to say. I know. I do. So I just keep getting it out there. Be good. Enjoy your night.